If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. Today is March 1st, and we thought Uzi was going to drop in February, but obviously, looking at his Spotify profile, he hasn't. We're waiting for the pink tape. We thought we were going to get it in February. Today, we're going to break down what the update of the pink tape is and when we are actually going to get it. So let's move straight into the video. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 20 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip hop over the past week. And also, follow me on TikTok. I'm posting on there daily. You don't want to miss out on that. Now let's get into the video. So like middle of February, around the time the Super Bowl happened, I dropped a video that I very boldly claimed that, the pink tape was going to drop within the next 2 weeks. We had 2 Fridays left at that point in time, the 17th and the 24th, since it didn't drop on the 10th. Well, that never happened, obviously. In that video, I also made the claim that likely Yeet and him were going to have, he's going to drop on the 17th and Yeet on the 24th, or the other way around. Yeet now dropped on the 24th. And we didn't get no Uzi on the 17th. Now, the reason that I thought, he was not going to drop the same day as Yeet is because they got a pretty close relationship, and we're still waiting for the Pink Life, that collaborative tape, and I thought we were going to get a Uzi feature on Afterlife. We didn't, maybe on the Deluxe, though. I just dropped a TikTok on the Deluxe, so be sure to go check it out. Well, and the reason I thought that the Super Bowl was the best time to drop this thing is because he gave the Eagles their soundtrack with Just Wanna Rock, and he walked out with them. That was like their whole soundtrack. You heard the song a whole lot over Super Bowl weekend, so I thought that off of the hype of Just Wanna Rock, that they were definitely gonna release the album, because after the Super Bowl weekend, people were gonna listen to Just Wanna Rock a whole lot more. I think it was like top 10 even at some point, top 5 maybe even. So I thought that would have been a perfect time. We didn't get it. Then in the meantime, we also had that Watch This remix, the Plug and Be remix, that Uzi then quickly co-signed and put out on all major streaming platforms, which is a dub move, the same way that he did for Just Wanna Rock, or the same way that Yachty did it with Poland. So these rappers nowadays, they're on their wave. They know that they got to capitalize off of those TikTok snippets. I like the track. I've been listening to it before Uzi co-signed it when first the YouTube version of it dropped. And I like the track, kind of now taking Plug and Beat, to another level. I don't think that's going to eventually become like the next big thing, but it's definitely nice to see that happening. Even though obviously the OG beat for Watch This would have been hard as well. It's a completely different vibe. If you haven't yet, if you've only listened to this new version, make sure to go check out the OG version of Watch This. Also definitely pretty hard. What's also interesting, I do want to mention this, that when you go on Spotify, he grouped together Just Wanna Rock and the Watch This remix into one little 2-pack EP. I don't know what this has to mean. Probably that both of them are going to be on the pink tape, even though we didn't know about the Watch This thing until somebody made a remix of it and Uzi then noticed it. I don't think he ever wanted to put a Plug and Be remix of Watch This on the pink tape, but it's pretty interesting that he put those two together, because there's no longer a single version for there's no longer a single version for Watch This. It's only got Just Wanna Rock attached to it. Maybe that is to boost the streams of Just Wanna Rock, so when people click on Watch This, if the song plays through, immediately afterwards it goes to Just Wanna Rock. So maybe he tries, to push Just Wanna Rock a little more, because he's planning on putting out the album pretty soon. But that's kind of, I thought that was interesting. I just wanted to share that with y'all. Now, the reason that we thought that he was going to drop in February, we got to take it all the way back to when, Don Cannon said a couple of things. Don Cannon also just said, like a couple of days ago, that Uzi has recorded like 700 songs in 18 months for the pink tape. And now they're picking like the top 10, 20, however many tracks are going to be on there. I'm hoping below 20. 15 to 20 would be perfect on the pink tape. But he said that he recorded like 700 songs in 18 months, which is a lot. But if we only get the top material, I'm happy with it. Uzi is someone that works like that, so I'm hoping that at least we get the top tier material out of that. So in some way, Don Cannon is even now teasing the pink tape actively on these podcasts, so maybe that is also a sign that it's coming at least sometime soon. I'm guessing March, and as I said, we're going to get into why we thought this was going to drop in February, and why March is like the next possible option, not just because it's the next month now in the year, but because there's actually some evidence to this thing dropping in March. So first of all, we got to take a look at those screenshots of the group chats. I know a couple of y'all said they were fake, but I've seen these on different occasions, even on some on iPhone, some on Android, some on different versions of it. But in this group chat on Instagram, called the Uzi Choppers, I think the name was, a couple of people were talking about the release of the Pink Tape. And I've covered this evidence a whole lot. Just stick with me real quick for the people that have already seen this. But basically what was going to happen was that people were saying, yo, you take 3 years to drop some mid, and then another person said, be for real, if you don't drop before your tour, you're an idiot. And Uzi replied to this and said, that's why I'm dropping February. Now, that was our thing back in like January when we were talking about when this thing was going to drop. We thought it was going to be February based on this. As I said, some voices saying this is fake. Likely also under this, you're going to prove me, wrong in this sense. But let me know the evidence on this being fake, because I've seen it on a couple of occasions, so it might be real. I'm not sure. And also the reason that he was saying that he was going to drop in February before the tour was because last October, so right around the time that Just Wanna Rock dropped, his PR team announced that they would be embarking on a tour that was set to begin in March of next year. So basically this year, in collaboration with Live Nation, will be a 20-city North American tour. So pretty big, only North America, sadly, so I can't watch him. But still, maybe I'll be in town when this is happening, so then I can, watch the shows or go to one of them. But they were saying that it was going to begin in March of next year. We did not have any more details. We didn't have the dates. We didn't have, who he's going to go on tour with, or when this all is going to happen, or even the cities. So this was all kind of like up in the air. So that's why I'm guessing they kind of looked at what was going on in the moment. They saw, okay, the Eagles lost. Maybe that's why Just Wanna Rock didn't go off too well. But I don't even think that that's the real reason that they would do that. Maybe they were just not ready. Maybe the album wasn't ready. Maybe that's why Don Cannon is on these podcasts talking about the process behind this, because he wants to keep people, over a little bit longer just so we can get ready for the release. Now, Uzi's lucky, because he dropped Just Wanna Rock and the hype is slowly dying down, even though I still see it everywhere. But then this Watch This remix happened. And maybe his thought was, that's also maybe why he put together the two singles in an EP. If I can just boost both of these, and if I can use the Watch This hype right now, it's even in the Spotify top 50 charts in the US, and people immediately jump to Just Wanna Rock, I can boost those a little more and have a little more time for the album. Now also, because they only so vaguely announced the tour, then they can easily just change it a couple of weeks later. So we'll start in late March compared to early March, or even in April or May. So that way he can still release the album maybe in March, and then, just everything else falls in place. Now, also, maybe Yeet decided to drop a little later. Yeet had to push it back to the 24th, and that's why Uzi was like, oh, this is perfect for me, so I can just drop the weeks after. I mean, we're having a Friday coming up on the 3rd, so in 2 days, I don't think Uzi is going to drop on the 3rd. I'm more seeing the 17th or the 24th this month. That is just from looking at this and seeing, okay, he's not going to drop it the next week, likely also not the week after, maybe the 2 weeks after that. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but it's a completely uneducated guess, just kind of a feeling that I get from covering this over the whole course of the Pink Tape's release. So that's everything we got on the Pink Tape right now. I know a lot of old information, but also maybe with a new light shed on it, with these new couple of pieces of evidence that we got, especially the podcast with Don Cannon was pretty interesting. 700 songs is a whole lot. So definitely let me know what you think about this, and also definitely check out the merch bar below this video to cop this amazing Ben's Music hoodie merch, and you can get 20% off with the code TRUEFAN, just so you know what's up. Let me know what you think about the entire Pink Tape thing. When do you think this is dropping? What features do you think are going to be on there? When do you think the tour is starting? All of your thoughts and your theories on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.